Today we are at Jeweler Designs in Danbury, Connecticut, where we will be handcrafting this magnificent sapphire and diamond ring. After our top piece has been assembled by our model maker, we now have to set the lower portion of our cluster with the baguette diamonds first before we can move forward and create the rest of our cluster. The setting has been prepped, and one by one the baguettes are carefully set into our lower cluster. Now that our lower cluster is complete, our model maker can now proceed in finishing the rest of the cluster for our ring. Prongs are soldered for our center stone first, then the outer prongs will soon follow. The outer prongs are carefully positioned in place, and now our model maker can properly weld the prongs in position. One wrong move with our torch and hours of work can be lost. With the prongs soldered in position and our cluster complete, we can now move on to craft the body for the ring. A platinum bar is reduced in size by rolling it through a mill. After each pass, it is annealed with a torch to soften the metal. The platinum is then shaped and formed to create the lower under bezel and ring shank material. The precious metal is now hammered and welded to form the blank that will be used to create the lower section of our ring. The ring is carefully trimmed, shaped and filed, then fitted to our handmade cluster top. Now our model maker measures and then scribes our shank to ensure accurate placement for our cluster top. Our model maker now cuts slots into the shank with a saw, and after the slots have been cut, he can slowly bend the metal to form the arch where the cluster now will sit. Some final hammering, filing, and shaping is done to ensure that our shank is true before welding our cluster to the platinum shank. Once again, our model maker checks to see if our two pieces interlock perfectly. After polishing, our model maker proceeds to weld our cluster to the platinum shank. With the pieces welded and polished, our ring is now ready to be set. Our diamond setter must carefully cut and azure the prongs and seats for the pear-shaped diamonds to allow them to rest in position without shifting before tightening. Proper seating will prevent our diamonds from shifting and ensure a long life for our setting. One by one, the pear-shaped diamonds are seated and tightened with the setter's pliers. The prongs will then be cut, trimmed, filed, and polished. Now that the pear-shaped diamonds are in place, we can prepare the setting for our center stone, the sapphire. With our sapphire sitting perfectly in its seat, we can carefully finish setting our stone. After a light polish, we can introduce this handmade 3-tier sapphire and diamond ring. Alternating pear and baguette diamonds weighing a total of 2.77 carats surround this natural, untreated 5.64 carat oval sapphire.
The jewelry we make is the jewelry we sell. Own and original from Jewelry Designs.